As you probably know, it didn't go out at midnight. It turns out the camera wasn't completely charged and was down to its last bar of battery, and I needed to put it on the charge, so I did. And what happened? Well, I decided to watch a little TV while I waited for that, and I was going to check on it in about 30 minutes, see if I had enough battery to do it, and I fell asleep. Woke up at 3:30 a.m. Decided to catch a few more winks, and then woke up just a touch later than expected. But the good thing is the shuffle is already done. Everything's already laid out, so I can jump right into it. So let's see what your forecast holds. Hopefully I can get all the links out today. By the way, this is close to what a personal reading looks like. If you would like one of your own, the way to get it is very simple. Simply bring a friend, be a subscriber. Your friend subscribes and names you. Both of you get a personal reading. It'll be private, and it will be all yours. If you don't have a friend to bring, you throw me something off my Amazon wish list, and you get 2 free readings, or 2 personal readings rather, and a free birthday reading thrown in just for fun. Also, if you send me a new deck, no matter what it is, I use the deck you send in the readings. Speaking of decks, today we have Wild Unknown Tarot and Sacred Oracles, I can't even speak today. Sacred Rebels Oracle. We need a bit of honesty because it seems like the same messages are popping up, which means someone out there is just kind of not getting it. And we want to move on. We want to move on to brighter pastures and brighter days ahead. And in order to do that, I think we need a little bit of very blunt honesty today. And so I chose for us to go into our most authentic route. And this tends to do it. So, this weekend, I can tell you what my weekend forecast holds, and apparently it's a lot of snow. I think we're getting maybe close to a foot. I don't know. There's not going to be much accumulation today, but the accumulation is going to be all tomorrow. I'll be working on a tabletop RPG. Still working on that. Anyway, getting down to it, significator today is, of course, Refuge, the land of making peace. You know what, just to be on the fair side of things today, I think I'm going to have a look at the book. Maybe there's something that we're not getting with this card, because this one's popped up a couple of times. And I really think it's a good idea that we explore it completely, find out what's going on with us. And we've talked about this card before. Aha. So, remember what I said, making peace with yourself, seeking that own peace with yourself, that still holds true. Seeking action that will weave peace into the current situation, that's also true. But this weekend, it's a good time to find refuge. You might even be the refuge someone's seeking. We all need occasional respite from the chaos and the pressure of the world around us. Now, there's a profound sanctity in the places that protect us. Silence is valuable now. Secure both the protection of your community and your own peace. So, more than ever, that's what's going to have to be, this is the refuge. So where do you take refuge? How do you become someone else's refuge? Well, We've got Fenrir. Fenrir the wolf. This is letting us know we need to let go of the petty bickering, and if you've got any real animosity towards someone, it's time to let go of it. What can we look to in nature? The whale. This one says, trust the great mystery. And that one's a little bit of a mystery to me because I don't know that we've really ever had the whale pop up before. But I'm willing to look that one up as well, just to see what it is. Because this one, I'll admit, it intrigues me. So, it's an ancient creature who was here at the beginning of time, who has seen everything, felt everything, heard everything that has ever transpired. But in the hidden realms, where all things must gather first before manifesting into form, this particular spirit is the keeper singing the soul of the whole world from the deepest waters of the coldest sea. Now when this appears, it's a reminder that there's a great mystery you must accept without intellectually trying to understand it. Some things can't be known by the mind, only experienced through the heart, through intuition, and through peripheral senses that part the invisible veils separating the visible world from the great manifesting consciousness in the hidden realms. Now is the time for you to immerse yourself in the great mystery of spirit and to trust that within the invisible, what you can't see now are the seeds of your intentions being tended by the spirits. Well, if you gotta go to church on Sunday, this is a good indicator to do it, right? If you gotta go to your sacred space, do it. Or at least find some way to sort of like engage with that. One of the things I've told some people before in private readings was nature and supernature, they exist together. You cannot explain supernature in natural terms. You also can't, sometimes you cannot apply the reverse. I hear a lot of talk about unverified personal gnosis and all that kind of stuff, and I've never concerned myself with that. Want to know why? Because I accept that supernature does exist. I can't explain it. I can't put it into terms that someone will understand if they're not inclined to understand it, and it's fine. I don't need to. Because I was there. I know what happened to me. And I'm good with it, even if someone else isn't. So, let's look at the mind. We've got the moon. We've got a 5 of swords. And looks like we've got a 10 of cups. So, right now we're kind of transitioning. This is how you have to transition your thought processes. If you're facing some kind of uncertainty, know one thing. With the 5 of swords, that usually indicates, see, this is that dark where not everything is lit, and if you notice, it's kind of a waning crescent moon, which is what we're in right now. So this is really speaking very, very loudly. But what's even more amplified is this 5 of swords. Typically, this 5 of swords is depicted by one guy holding 3 swords while 2 others walk away. But that 5 of swords also indicates that that person, you in this instance, is master of your field. You can carry 3 swords while the other 2 drop theirs and haul ass. You can actually do what you need to do. You can take that up. You can take up that little extra slack at times, because what that does is it benefits you. And there are brighter days ahead. Ten of Cups usually means family, and it usually means abundance, actually. So you're looking at a wealth of emotional abundance, all things kind of coming together for you. So while things are uncertain, take up that little bit extra and watch it pay off. And that's just your thoughts. Now, once your thoughts kind of line up, that's where the body comes into play. You got a Seven of Wands. You've got a, looks like a nine of Pentacles or coins, and we have, I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, that's a Six of Pentacles. Okay, so looking good here, but you're standing on the defensive. Kind of lighting, you're there, you're lit, you're ready, but you've got some forces up against you. Not a big deal, because this is what is next. And what's next is always this is trying to put it, this is a completion. The completion of your physical projects leads to the six of Pentacles here, which is you being able to both give and receive generously. And remember, you've got this abundance here. Moving into here, you'll be able to share that knowledge with others. Going to the spiritual, we have a Five of Cups. Are you feeling a little empty lately? I can tell. Then we have a Knight of Cups, which again, this is that slow moving energy. It's going to take time to kind of come back from that. And then the Hanged Man. This is where you find peace. Because the Hanged Man, if you look at that, that bat's very comfortable. Very comfortable, just hanging upside down as it's wont to do. Okay, so far, finding that inner peace is going to have to come with changing the way you think. It might be a little harder than you perceive at first. Others are going to be telling you things. They're going to be feeding you information, tips on how you can maybe improve, and you're going to be a little resistant to that. But don't worry. When you start getting resistant to it, explore that. Understand why, because when you complete the work that you're doing, or you're nearing that completion, you'll be able to share what you've learned with someone else. Okay, because it's going to go down the line. Your predecessor, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Othala pop up, your predecessor will teach you, you will teach someone else. It's that simple. They're going to run into the same problems you've run into. You're running into the same problems that the one before you ran into. You're feeling really empty right now. You're feeling like things, all hope is kind of lost, but it's not. It's not at all. That cup will refill, but it's taking some time. You have to make peace with being a little patient. Okay? Let's kick on over to this Sacred Rebels Oracle and see what's going on. So, remember when I said things look a little uncertain, but you need to change what you're thinking? Well, that comes into play. So the question is, actually, this is more of a question than it is a statement, and it's what is already with you. What are your talents and your abilities and things like that? What resources do you have at your disposal? Start learning to exploit those, or at least take advantage of them, because they do make all the difference. If you have nothing else, you don't know how to do something, you can go to the internet. If you don't have internet capability at home, you can always go to the library. Most of us have internet capability. We have these things, right? These nice little devices here. You can learn anything. You've got a wealth of information at your fingertips. You've got a host of resources, but you're going to have to practice a little patience just to kind of weed through all the noise. Alright, so right here in the physical, you're going to have to go a little bit beyond normal. This is you needing to step out of your comfort zone. Just because things don't operate as you think they should doesn't mean that they're not operating as they should. You're going to have to actually step out of your comfort zone, get a little, how can I put this? Getting a little comfortable with being uncomfortable, at least for a little while. Because what you move into, this is what you're striving for right now. This is what we're all striving for, right? And most of us think that we have to go outside for that. We have to convince others to do everything that we're doing. No, not really. As a matter of fact, I had a post where I posted just what's in my physical RPG library, and I said reject modernity and embrace tabletop. Those video games are great, but what do you do when the power goes out? I'm sorry about the camera shaking. Bub is kicking the tripod. Anyway, closing off with the runes, we have Dagas. This is right here in the mind. Remember when I said when you change what it is you think, you end up with your breakthrough. The things will begin dawning on you, and that's what Dagas means, is dawn. So when you have realizations dawning on you, everything changes. It's wonderful. You also have Tivas. So moving, jeez, will you knock it off? Seriously. Yeah, you just move the camera back. Anyway, when you move from being defensive into gaining this this completion, and you're able to become a little more generous. See how you move from defending everything you have to, okay, maybe I don't need to hold on so tightly. There you go. That card's really self-explanatory. Okay, final one. Kanaz. You will end up lighting the way for others. But you got to get back to what brings you a little peace in your life. Whatever it is you've lost along the way, hey, look, focuses, they shift. They shift all the time. While you're focusing on one thing, something else could be happening. That happens. We tend to do that. So we focus more on this, well, we're losing, we focus more on the spiritual, we're losing our physical, right? We're trying to transcend that. Well, it's not really about that. So you shift back to the physical, and then you start losing your spiritual. It's back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until finally you get a kind of an equal balance of both, right? That can happen. That's why right now your spiritual is suffering a bit, but you need to kind of slowly get back into it. Doesn't have to be anything quick. You don't have to shift suddenly and then tip the scales, but you do need to find where that nice center is, and then go with it. So, just to sum up here, looks to me like your balance has shifted right back into the physical, and it shifted hard. You've been focused so much on being realistic that you forgot what gave you any peace in the first place. And you can only approach it, you can only make peace if you become it. I'm surprised the dove spirit didn't pop up today, but it doesn't really have to. But you're going to have to let go of all that anger right now. I know the world is kind of a messed up place. I know it's getting weird. It truly is weird out there. But it doesn't have to make you that way. And I'll be straight up with you. I'm a little disappointed in how it's all turning out myself. But if you let it sit there and boil you up, twist you up inside, it's not going to do you any favors. So this weekend, I want you to find a way to mix the two, both your nature and supernature. You're going to have to seek refuge, and you're going to have to be refuge all at once. That's going to be a tricky situation to do, but guess what? I can tell you one thing, I'm taking refuge in here from that snowstorm that's coming from outside. And I've got the makings of a nice little stew that I'm thinking about putting together this weekend. And I know one thing, when I make that kind of stuff, boy, serve it over rice and it's a wonderful time. Is your refuge in your kitchen? Mine sometimes can be. Where's yours? Put it all together. My best magic happens in the kitchen. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I'm always happy to have you. Just remember, take care of yourselves and each other. Always do what lights you up. And as always, my friends, shine on.